In Ostróda is the Day of the Sea, and if you can hear the music behind me, it's a typical band playing what may be a kind of sea shanty music.
We are now in Krakow's main market square.
Docklands are here in Gdańsk, where this is the reggae festival in Ostróda.
Okay, so now we can start. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Agnieszka. How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm in excellent mood. The sun is shining, everything is green, and at the moment I'm not working, so I'm very happy.
Okay, that's small talk in the beginning. Okay, is it true that English always start the conversation with the weather?
It's true, yeah, because we call it an icebreaker.
Huh?
Because we don't normally sort of go straight into the subject. And I was in sales for a long time, and you never go into a customer and say, oh, do you want to buy this? It starts off with the weather and what do you think about this? It breaks the ice. Yeah, it's true. There's a song, Let's Talk About the Weather, actually, by Crowded House, which is very popular.
Okay, that's great. What is your story in Poland? How is it come that you are here?
Well, it's the story itself could be made into quite a good movie. It's a very long story, but I'll give you the summary.
Okay.
About 25 years ago, when I was in London, I had a couple of shops, a business, and unfortunately the business went bankrupt. So I lost my car, I lost my house, and I lost everything else. And one evening I was in a pub feeling sorry for myself, drinking beer, and I met some Polish people. And the Polish people, I became friends with them, and they were working in the fields picking strawberries and so forth, and I used to go back to their camp and teach them English and take magazines and newspapers. And anyway, at the end of the season, they said, Peter, why don't you come to Poland? You know, and I said, really? And do what? They said, well, we need native speakers. So with my last £300, I bought myself a bus ticket, went from Dover to Olsztyn, and the rest is history.
Okay, and how does it come that you are here in Ostróda? What brought you here?
Well, that's a good story. When I first arrived in Poland, I got a job at the university, which was called Kotowo, and I was teaching there for 3 years. And then I got offered a job by a guy called Józef Uszewski, who had the Olsztyńska Szkoła Wyższa. It was a private university. So he asked me to work for him, which I did. And while I was teaching there, I met Ivona, and I decided that maybe Ostróda was a nicer place to live than Olsztyn. So I did it for love.
So love brought you here?
Yeah.
Okay, romantic story.
It's a very romantic story.
Okay, so you are 25 years in Poland.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's true.
You teach English in Ostróda.
I do.
You meet many Polish people. How do you think? Do Polish speak English well?
Actually, they do. What I've noticed is that when I first came to Poland, which was 25 years, there's this huge demand, particularly by young people and business people, to learn English. And so as a native speaker, I was working with an American, Canadian, a guy from Holland, and people were sucking out, the language from us. They wanted to learn. But now, 25 years later, with the internet, social network, young people today, of course, they speak much better, they have a better base. So their level of English is much higher now at 16 years old than it was when I came 25 years ago. So now I'm absolutely amazed at the level of English of Poles. When they come to me, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 13-year-olds, they know a lot, and it's very good. Yeah, very, very good. It's getting better and better, particularly in the cities, of course, like Gdańsk, Warsaw, Krakow. It's like second language now.
Okay, but you are not teacher by education.
No, I'm qualified to teach, but by profession, I'm a salesman. I used to be in sales. I had my own shops. I was selling for companies, but actually, I was also involved in theatre, and I write songs and poetry. So, if you put that together, when I arrived in Poland, it was a perfect combination because my first lesson, of which I had no idea, I had 35 students. The first thing I did was I did a presentation. Hello, my name is Peter Dowell. I come from a small village in England called London. Ha 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 ha. So I knew that was, to get people speaking. So I put everything in together, and that's why I am today, hopefully, very successful. Because when I need new clients, I have no problems contacting Morlini, contacting other companies. Hello, my name is Peter Dowell. I'm an English teacher from London. Could I come and visit you? It's easy to do.
Do you speak Polish?
No.
Why?
Next question.
I have to ask about it.
Everybody asks me, it's one of the most embarrassing parts of living here for me. I might be one of the best teachers, but I'm certainly the worst student. And although I do try very hard, I try to learn, I have no problems going to a shop, and I'm very confident to speak what little I have. But unfortunately, Brits don't have that natural gene that Poles have. I mean, Poles do English, German, Russian. Brits, like Americans, we're just brought up learning English. So a new language, particularly Polish, is a complete, nightmare to learn. If it was Spanish or German, but that's not an excuse. It's very difficult for me. It goes in that ear, goes out that ear, but I keep trying.
Okay, you've got 3 children.
Yes, I have.
Here in Ostróda. Do you speak with them in English and Polish?
I speak with them in English because Ivana speaks in Polish with them, and they get Polish at school. And I think that because the future, anyway, in the world is going to be, IT, internet, computers, and English. That will be the future. I mean, now you go to a company, a big company, corporation. Do you speak English? Yes. Can you use this computer technology? So my job is to teach them English, of course, and they'll speak Polish anyway, naturally, in Poland. So they're already bilingual.
Okay. My next question is. You travel a lot around the Poland because you've got your the channel on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
When you travel around the Poland and you speak Polish and you visit many places in Poland, what is the strangest thing about Poland or Polish for you?
I think there's
something the most amazing.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between most amazing and strangest. I mean, if you're talking about little things that I find amusing, I think that the number one thing has to be ketchup on pizza and mayonnaise and garlic sauce, because if you go to Italy, you certainly won't put ketchup or, and I don't quite understand why. That's something quite, it's interesting. Have a pizza and you put all this sauce there, but that's okay. Number two, I think that it's interesting because generally Poles are obviously polite when you go to their home. Maybe sometimes outside, maybe the older generation are not quite so polite. For example, you're standing in a queue, somebody will sort of push into you. But the classic one, which is not a criticism, is door opening. Now, in England, when you go to a shop, what you do is you go to the door, you hold it, you look behind you. If there's somebody there, you wait, and they come through. And in Poland, they go through the door and it closes in your face. And I found that quite funny. It's nothing personal, but it was just quite weird to have the door sort of slammed in my face. But that's just little things that are just differences. But yeah, on the other hand, Poles are extremely polite when they go into a shop or restaurant. They say "Dzień dobry," like to everybody, which is really cool. Like "Dzień dobry," like I don't know you, but there's on one side there's something maybe not so good, but the other side, it's very, very amazing is a good word.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing that is the strangest for you, except the ketchup and the sauce on the pizza, of course.
I think that it's sometimes the drivers are a bit.
Drivers?
The drivers, yeah, in the cars. I'm a little bit surprised. What's strange to me is sometimes how when they drive very close to the back of my car. And number two is that when there's a bend, most people would wait, but some of them tend to do the catch-22. They sort of, do the risk of going around the bend. There could be a lorry coming the other way. That's quite strange for me that they would want to risk, their own lives and things. But I think it's getting a bit better, for sure. But the thing is, this is about Poland now. If you take away all the signs, I've travelled a lot. It could, and I hate this is not negative. It could be any country. It's the world is getting similar.
Yeah.
So it's like in the past, it was strange that when you wanted to cross the road, the cars would never stop. Now, they stop before I get there. It's amazing. That's amazing. Even before I get to there, it's like they stop. They go, "Thank you, dziękuję."
Yeah.
So it's kind of like now it's getting
things changed.
Yeah, a big time, and the younger generation are completely different. Yeah, great fun.
Okay. You are well known in Ostróda because of your YouTube channel and because of your posts about cleaning your street. I have to ask about it.
Yeah, go for it.
Why do you clean your street?
You know, what is it? My mother always said that cleanliness is next to holiness or something. You know, if you have a clean environment, you have, or clean soul, you know, it goes together. I think that cleanliness is about being proud. Okay? So if you're proud, if you go to a country where people are very proud, you would expect them to generally, you know, I mean, I just come back from Slovenia. And there wasn't one piece of litter or trash anywhere, literally. It was almost perfect. And I'm trying to do it as an example because Poland is a lovely country. It's very beautiful. I've traveled all over it. You know, and yet I constantly get annoyed, same as my other friends, when I see, you know, plastic bottles, I see trash, I see everywhere. And I think that, you know, if this is your country, and if people don't have examples, I can't change the world. All I can do is keep my street clean, and hopefully somebody else will say, well, if Pete can do it, I'll do it. And then maybe somebody else will, well, if Agnieszka does it, I'll do it. And it's trying to change the way people think about their country. Because Poland is beautiful, but when I drive down the motorway and I see in the side plastic bottles being thrown out the window, it's just annoying because it's unnecessary. You have bins everywhere, you have gas stations where you can stop and put the trash, you know, it's not necessary to do it. So I'm just trying to set an example, and the response I've got on Facebook is very positive. Last time I did it with David, the guy who owns a flower shop, and together, because it's a nice town, it's a lovely town, but I just get tired, and my students also tell me they're tired of seeing so much trash around.
Okay, so now you've got a companion in
David.
cleaning.
Yeah.
So you're not the only one.
Nope.
There are two of you.
Yes, there are.
So maybe there in the future will be more.
Well, I'd like to do, my next plan would be to do a clean up Ostróda campaign. And the idea would be that every road would have people with the bags, and literally we'd all, you know, meet somewhere and just fill up the, you know, clean the streets. But there has to be a kind of, not motivation, but a kind of something behind it. Maybe my idea was that maybe we could get sponsorship. In other words, somebody would say, okay, we'll give you 1 zloty per bag, you know. So at the end of it, you get 1,000 zlotys, and that goes to charity, or it goes to, you know, a children's home, something.
For the 1 full bag of litter.
Yeah, so, you know, or even people get other people to sponsor them. So in England, it's very popular sponsorship. You have a list, and you go to your friends, and they say, oh, I'll give you 1 zloty for every bag, you know, or 50 groszy. So at the end of it, I sign it, yes, Agnieszka did 25 bags, and she collects the money, and that money all goes towards, you know, a good cause.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
You think that Ostróda is a dirty town or clean?
I think it could be clean. Yeah, generally, if you walk around the streets and look down, if you literally look down, there does seem to be a continual line of bottles, particularly the vodka bottles, plastic bottles, bags. I think it could be cleaner, and my students confirm it. A lot of them have said, Pete, you know, why is it like that? So yeah, I think it needs cleaning up. In other towns, they don't have this problem. On Facebook, I get people who live in Szczytno, and Szczytno says they've got 30 or 40 cleaners out every day cleaning the streets. I went to Ława, you know, so sad to compare, but compared to other towns, it's not quite so clean.
Could be better.
It could be better, yes.
Okay, that's great. So I have to look into my notebook. Okay, I try to be well prepared. Okay, so Ostróda could be cleaner, and generally, how do you find living in Ostróda? Is it okay for you? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great. It's, you know, like every town, every city, it's got the good and the bad. I mean, I consider myself very lucky that I teach a lot of people, I know a lot of people, and all the people I know are great. They're really, really good. I'm very, very.
For your neighbor.
There you go. See, that's we like animals as well. So yeah, generally it's good. I have no. Sometimes I get a bit annoyed when people wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I sleep upstairs on here, and when people have had a few drinks, they tend to sit on my steps and talk all night. But generally, you know, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. What is it for you, happiness? When you think about happiness, what does it mean to be happy?
To do what you want, when you want, with whom you want.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very simple.
Yeah, that's true. That's what that was my goal in life. I mean, if you think about it, I've got my own business, so I work when I want to work. I chose to work in Poland, so I'm working here. And I can choose not to work if I don't want to. I had the summer vacation, no students, 8 weeks holiday, Christmas time, and yeah, that was freedom for me. I always worked for corporations, and I got tired of being told you must have a tea break then, you must have holidays then, And now I'm free. So freedom is happiness, basically, isn't it? If you're free, you're happy. So I'm free. So I'm happy. And my family, of course.
Oh, of course.
Oh, by the way. But that's all part of the package, isn't it? It's
yes,
I
understand.
It's part of the package. Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you think about yourself, you are English, Polish, Ostrodarian, after 25 years in Poland?
Well, I think that, like every person, that you are where you were born. You are where you were born. Mm-hmm. So I was born in London. It's a big city. It's hard to lose that from my blood. But I've kind of made roots in Ostróda. I have built up a great group of people, friends, acquaintances, students. And I have a good life here. So I sometimes, when I get back to England, I'm always promoting Poland. As you can see from my YouTube videos, I'm promoting Poland. So I'm proud. That's why I get so angry with the litter, because I feel it's offensive to me because I live here. So, but I feel like an Ostrodarian, although sometimes it drives me crazy. But I'm very lucky. I've got the lake down there. Again, a lot of people. So I'm kind of half English, quarter Ostrodarian, and quarter Polish. Is that okay?
Okay.
That's a
mixture.
A mixture. Yeah. I do my best. I'm trying to, make Poland a better place for everybody. I think it should be like that. And if I can do anything, I'll do it. I'm not over here to change Poland. I'm just trying to work with people who agree with me and say, actually, Pete, that's a good idea. How can we do that? So I use maybe what little bit of fame I have to help.
Okay. I don't know if you know that complaining is a kind of Polish tradition. Polish like complaining on everything. So what is your message to the people complaining on everything?
Well, we have the expression in England which goes like this: therefore, the grace of God go I, which means, translated, that thank God I have what I have, because there are other people in the world who have a damn sight less and have far worse lives. Mm-hmm. So when you complain about something, just look at what you've got and think, well, actually, it's not so bad. I've got a home, I've got a job, maybe it's not perfect. I live in a nice town, I've got good friends, I've got my health. So basically, sometimes before you use negative words, and I learned this years ago, take out the negatives. Use positive words. If you don't use negatives, then you won't complain. For everything for example, it's raining, instead of saying, oh my God, it's raining, how bad? So actually it's great because we can drink water, we need that to live. Yeah. So just change the language, make it into positives, think positive. And it does work. It does work.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.